Have you ever thought about growing up in Japan, where things are different from most other countries? Can you imagine yourself growing up in a small island in East Asia? It's like a Galapagos Island in 21st century. In Japan, things were evolved in other ways than we did in other countries, like language, transportation, and subcultures. Those are the three things that I'm going to talk about. First, I'm going to talk about language. Japanese is one of the most unique languages in the world, also the one of the hardest to learn. Although that difficulty comes from its uniqueness, it allows you to describe all the feelings and sights that seems to be indescribable once you catch it. In the book Monter Nipponica, published by Sophia University, Japanese has three types of written character and they mix them to make a sentence. One of them were brought by Chinese people in early 4th century. It's called kanji, and kanji is the origin of the others root. They broke down kanji into easier form to write. At the time, at the time when the people called the nobilities appeared, they started to make a poem to communicate with each other. They often had a competition among them to contest who can explain the beautiness most vividly and accurately. The poem has to be in 5-7-5-4, which means first and third sentence can have 5 syllables, and second can have only 7 syllables. Sometimes poems used to drag attention from opposite sex or even decide who should have a job. They developed their language by trying to describe all the things in the world without breaking the certain form. They keep searching for a word to describe the things that has never been used, because people would remember the poem. So if they have used the same word, they would not be admired. This unique culture of Japan brought Japanese a benefit to us, to have advanced skill to describe things that are considered indescribable in other regions. Second, public transportation Japan has is mind-blowing thing for foreigners. Because Japan is a small country consisting of islands, people don't see car as a necessary thing. According to Japanese Ministry of Land, in Tokyo they have average 0.45 car per person. That means more than half people in Tokyo doesn't have a car. Can people in Tokyo afford a car? Yes, they can. Tokyo is the biggest city in Japan and also has the highest income in that country. People just don't need a car because everything they need is in less than 10 minutes by foot. Plus, they have the most accurate train in the world. Trains are always on time, they rarely be a minute late. There are also buses and subways there. They're also run on schedule. It's not just Tokyo that has clockwork transportation. All other places in Japan has theirs in the same way. Can you imagine New York subway being more reliable than car? It's only happens in Japan. Finally, anime and comics are getting bigger and bigger, not just in Japan. They're already becoming big market in the world. I see people wearing Dragon Ball t-shirt here. However, we don't see people wearing it in Japan. It's fair to say our cartoon work made our country famous. In Japan, lots of teenagers spend their free time reading comics. The only reason is that's the best way to kill times. Like in America, TV shows is the one of the best ways to kill times because they make so many seasons of dramas and has so many TV programs. Compared to American TV program, we have less TV shows and most of the dramas end in one season. So people find comics as the way to kill time. It just continues until people get bored and there is so much to choose from. So as I mentioned, Japan has many things that the other countries don't have, like uniqueness of language, the public transportation, and subcultures. they're taking a different form than they're taken in other countries. That makes Japan unique and attract people from all over the world.